welcome into the conclusion of the 2025 New Zealand Disc Golf Open presented by RPM Discs. We're here at Roy's Orchard for the final out in West Auckland, New Zealand. I'm Luke Humphries, joined by Mr. Tall Paul Oman in the booth for the third day in a row. It's been a pleasure, Paul, and today we get to crown a winner.
Yes, we do, and it's a nice sunny day out here on the orchard.
Yep. First day we had wind, second day we had wind rain. Today we got that extra special one.
Extra special? How? Reverse, yes.
And it's probably double the strength.
Kind of that practice round wind, I feel like.
It really is, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. The man up top being chased by the big guy.
The big guy.
Coming out of North Carolina. You guys know him. He's vying for a win. Both those guys throwing brand new bags.
Yeah.
They're figuring it out, though, as they sit atop the leaderboard being chased by this man.
Another fella that's throwing some new plastic as well.
That's true. He took down the first event of the year. It's kind of cool to see all these guys working their bags and figuring out discs and really finding success throughout our tour down under. Last but not least, the man from Colorado. Two-way player as good as any, and he's been switching up his putt lately.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's, constantly been a little pitch putter, and he's kind of going to more of a spin for the windy conditions, and I think he's trying to make it, a really normal thing.
I like it.
Great. Final round of Taupo, I played with him, and he hit a bunch of really good ones. So looking forward to seeing that. I'm with Kevin Jones on the chase card, as well as the leading Kiwi, Levi Stout, and then Aiden Scott, who took down that Taupo event last weekend. So lots of talent on the board, but all of them chasing the man throwing discraft. In hole one, we finally get a go for it. 500 feet to the green, 550 to the pin. What was the wind like today, Paul?
It was perfect. Just pushing the discs. I mean, you really had to put it out wide, almost like over that tee pad over there to get it to land somewhere near the bucket, but the wind was a helper today.
Yeah, for sure.
Saw a lot of guys just bomb. It was a lot of fun to watch.
MPO lead card at the 2025 New Zealand Disc Golf Open presented by RPM Discs. First on the tee at 12 under par, representing Discraft out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, is Ezra Robison.
Very nice showing out today. Quite a few people in the crowd.
Cool to see the gallery out. Ezra's got back-to-back second-place finishes down here on the tour down under. Looking to break that streak. Twos. He's going with a force right here. Excuse me, that is a new. It's a Paige Pierce note. We didn't do our best job at telling you guys all these discs that are being thrown. We're going to do that today. I have the entire disc lineup for both Germ and Ezra, so both Discraft and Gyro heads will be pleased.
Very nice. And he really got that wind lift. Like I said, you got to get that thing out there wide right, because this wind is just not just a pure tail. It's like a right to left tail that's just whipping these things to the left.
North Carolina, it's Jeremy Koling.
Yeah, just seem like committing to get your disc flat.
Yeah.
It's really important. You aren't going to get much flip because of how strong this tailwind is.
Yeah.
It's 500 feet to the green, but it's not a distant shot. It's an accuracy shot. Plasma Mayhem from Germ.
Oh, that's gone.
Oh, man.
Going indeed.
Yeah, he got it a little past flat for a bit, it looked like.
Yep.
And wow, hopefully they can find that thing.
Out of Houston, Texas, it's Robert Burridge.
Albert Burridge, looking like this might be a layup. He played the hole perfectly the first 2 days. It's 2 under on the hole, which a lot of people playing way over par on. So he's just fine laying up.
Yeah, I mean, the hole is playing easier today with the wind, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to change your game plan.
Totally. I'm sure he tried to go practice.
Germ did not instill confidence either.
From Grand Junction, Colorado, Aaron Gossage.
Ezra as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he got handed it pretty tough. I mean, not a tough upshot, but he's not getting the deuce look.
That's a Robin spin to drop in bird for Ezra, but you're right. He did go way left of intended. Goose, this looks great.
Been kind of funky.
Wow, it did. You're right. Dropped right at the end there.
I was gonna say it was looking nice, but it just took a couple drops and
Okay.
didn't quite get there.
Everybody going to need to approach from this side. 3 from the drop zone, 1 from the fairway. Ezra first. Got to sit. Oh. Are you for
No way, dude. No
in?
way.
Nearly birdieing from the drop zone. Let me see this skip again. Like it hit the rim off the chains, nearly throwing it in for the birdie.
Some muscle on it. Maybe some, the wind might have had something to do with that. Kick him back out. Like,
It's so fine with the drop in par there, though. That's a Proton Tesla there from the drop zone. Germ going with forehand.
this is a tricky shot. I know he's got it dialed.
Oh, some good moves by the spotter there, and kind of curled back in bounds for him right at the end.
Yeah.
It's a Raptor from Aaron. Guessing it was pretty good. Probably got a little skip.
That looks well played, yeah.
Burridge had been going backhand. Just holding it up against the wind is his play. Doesn't get as close as he did those first 2 days.
Kind of tailwind putt, but still tricky. Maybe Ezra threw a provisional. Got the string out.
Yeah, that was Ezra's drive.
Yeah. Just threw a provisional.
Crazy. And there's just times today when it's 30 plus rushing. You only get 30 seconds to play. We all know this. So at some point, you just got to fire. Look at Germ staring into the teeth.
Goodness gracious.
There we go. Looked like it was going to hit the cage, raised up perfectly at the end. That little nose up spin putt, really good for times like these.
Yeah. Way to stop. Leading. Some nice par cleanups.
Yeah, you see everybody kind of jump up there. Ezra putted quick.
Yeah.
There was a lull in the wind right after Germ putt. Got to make it count on days like this. Hole 2, par 4 at only 552. It's not the length that's the difficulty ball.
Laying back into that headwind now.
Yep.
So I think this is a pretty standard shot for all these players, but it's really a touchy upshot on this green. You got the slope. You got you really want to get it super tight because you're sitting at, I don't know, just a small elevated basket, not too crazy, but with that slope, you get on the down slope, you're looking up at that thing. I don't know. It's a touchy little upshot. But most of these guys have no problem with this drive.
No.
Just get it in the middle up here.
Yeah, Ezra drilling a force up there. Germ going with that same disc he threw off the tee on 1.
It's a good thing he got it back. That thing entered the tree line pretty high.
And hot. Plasma Mayhem it was.
So it flipped on him in the tailwind a bit. He chose to throw it into a straight headwind.
That's good notes.
Yeah. If that is in fact the same disc.
It is. I'm looking at his list right now.
Nice. Good homework.
Yeah, wanted to make sure we got it to the people. Both of these guys throwing new bags. Look at Robert, just crushes, man. He just throws far.
Yeah.
Went to another gear there midway through that flight.
Really using that headwind to his advantage and
Yeah,
getting
general.
the disc flat later on in the flight.
It's one of those generals. That looked like force there from Aaron. Everybody chilling. Germ pretty far now. from the basket, but it's wide open. He's ripping headwind.
One of the things you kind of want to take into consideration on this hole, you just don't want to leak too far right because now he's just got all this extra distance. But he is higher on the tree line.
Look at this.
That was gorgeous.
Goodness.
You know, he's not throwing high up into the wind because he's tucked on the tree line. He's kind of back there higher. He can throw that lower line from his stance, which is still going to clear the trees. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's a neutron panic is what that was.
Did he catch those trees?
Hard to tell.
Like I was saying, he was kind of throwing up and just knocked it down into that tree line.
This is one of Goose's favorite raptors. He's got this one pretty dialed.
Standard.
Yep. Just a pretty swoopy forehand.
Head on.
Soft justice right there from Robert. Those things are perfect for just sitting soft in the grass. And Ezra did not make it. He's just going to be laying up.
That's what I'm saying. He either got slammed, but he was kind of just throwing up, like I was saying, and just the wind was crazy today. Not as bad as the first day, but
What a birdie from way out of position. I think normally, if you're not dealing with all that wind, it's an easy up and down. Anybody can do it, but
good birdie from Robert. Expect Goose to do the same.
there we go. Go ahead.
No, just solid forehand approaches from both players.
So, yeah, as we're watching these guys tap out, anybody in New Zealand, in the Christchurch area, we are doing our Beat the Pros event there. If you want to spectate or you want to play, we have 4 pros, and you can win $10,000 US if you can beat all 4 of them. Ezra Robison, Braden Sides, Chandler, and Paul Oman. That's you.
Good luck, folks.
Chandler Fry. Man, yeah. That'd be super fun. So you guys, sign-ups are live for that. You can play in it. We take the top 20 people. We do a little birdie or die. It's super fun. And then we film 4 pros and 4 AMs. $10,000 is on the line. Look at this. Just a mid-range from Journey. Head shot, a little short, but not bad. You take it today.
Yeah. Yeah, guys able to switch up the disc selection on this hole today due to the wind. Feel like the mid is a good play.
Just a justice from Robert slamming on that stable disc. Perfect.
Well executed.
Let's get a little follow. Tons of width on it. Really a penetrating line. Going over the valley, so keeping that disc flat is of utmost importance. Yeah, any dips or dives, any anhyzer that you're giving it can make it act finicky. I believe that's a zone for him.
Okay.
He loves to hit those zones hard.
Yeah, his dropped a bit more. It looked like Robert pretty much threw like straight out. You know, he didn't really throw up, down. Like Goose kind of threw down a little bit more, but Robert, his disc never really left the height that he threw it at. Just ran into the ground right next to the basket.
Right by the out of bounds line. Malta there from Ezra. He's loving that stable mid-range.
Super fortunate. It's got a big pine cone or something.
Little spinner. You can see it's completely different from what he's been doing in the past, and he's an incredible athlete with gifted hand-eye coordination. I expect him to dial it in here soon.
Yeah. Just a little snappy, a little snake bitey versus Ezra really following through there.
Yeah, part of that comes with time. I think the spin putt, just like Germs there, it evolves.
Yeah. You can see the purpose in his follow through though, like right where he wants it.
Indeed. Three birds and a par from Aaron, headed into the triple Mando hole, Paul. We got a different wind than we've had the rest of the days, left to right instead of right to left. It really influences the way that people approach.
Oh my goodness, I saw a lot more shots getting closer to the basket today, rising up versus just getting knocked down into that
Yep.
Kind of, I don't know, just grabbier grass down there, leaving you with that circle's edge, maybe just outside circle.
Yeah, a lot of putts happening from that 40-foot range.
Yeah.
That is a hex from Germ. He is loving forehanding those things. He's been talking about it the whole time we've been down there.
Yeah.
Here.
It's working well for him.
It's that same felon. Roberts brew that bounced the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's going to be tricky. Same one he threw off the tee of 1. Very stable disc. Ezra going back to his multi. Lift. It kind of was lifting. You were right. That left-right wind just keeps him. It's got that baby Anheuser, keeps him rising.
I mean, if you've watched round 1, round 2 coverage, we know that's a comfortable distance for Ezra's putt as well. Run up there a bit.
And it did. Circle's edge.
Just, yeah,
But
really wanted to do a little something more, and it just seems to grab so well.
sticky stuff right there. Plus the upslope.
Ooh,
Well,
come on out of there.
it rolled towards the basket after all of that. Fortunate.
I mean, Robert's only 2 strokes back right now. Those mistakes are costly.
Come on.
Yeah.
That left to right wind just held it out.
Yep.
Didn't really finish. Now, Germ, this is right at 40 feet. Exactly what we were talking about. Common landing zone.
This man's focused,
He really is. He's doing this all with purpose.
hearted.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Yeah. That's one of the things that happens when you spin putt.
Okay, he's in front of that little wire that kind of keeps the trees there. That would have been tricky.
Yeah, misses one right, next one left.
Like you said, he's working with the new putt.
Yeah. Taking it into tournament rounds is how you're going to get better.
Right.
Learning what your tendencies are, what you're doing in the pressure situations. Aaron will, I'm sure, look back at this, figure it out, and be a better man because of it. Better putter. I can't wait to see him spinning these things in on tour. I mean, nearly winning a world championship just a couple years ago, then breaking down the putt and going with something else.
Now, Dan, let's meet our women's finalists.
How hard did she throw that?
I mean, the women's division is getting a lot tougher.
World champion.
She's not holding back. Nope.
Good round, ladies.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Brought back by popular demand. Z-Lite plastic from Discraft. Disc that you already know and love, now available in lighter weights. This plastic is perfect for players with lower arm speeds as well as beginners. They can also be a great complement to the regular weight version of a disc that's already in your bag. Z-Lite. More distance with less effort.
There we have it. Big thanks to the PDGA, OTB, and Discraft for sponsoring this coverage. Hole 5, Paul.
Hole 5, going straight into the headwind today, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
245, not much to it. Just really got to commit to your line.
Playing straight down the pear orchard line. If you hit either side and kick out of this initial fairway, it does get extremely difficult. Going over the top, really not an option today.
It's all player mechanics here. Where's your release point? What disc do you want to throw?
You know, Robert's been throwing this disc fantastic. I believe it's maybe a beat-in felon. Those grabs. Talk about sticky grass.
Yeah.
This is some sticky grass as well. Back-to-back holes.
Low laser line. I like it a lot.
I think he's still inside the circle.
Yeah.
That was a buzz there. Switching it up a little bit.
Good little tickle on the right side. Not fully getting grabbed and sucked in there.
And it's that same Buzz OS he threw last hole. Kicks back to the middle, though, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Jerome was trying to throw a neutron lift, just a little left side with it, by the way. Make sure and get all those discs for the people. He may have just thrown a forehand with that exact same disc he backhanded. That's kind of what it looked like. It's either that or his own.
He wants a soft bid. I love it.
Touchy.
That's the risk you take when you leave it a little higher than you need to. Try to get it past the basket, but
Oh, I was just going to say he's been so good at this distance. Looked like he drained another one.
yeah, a little low right side.
Yeah. Yeah, with this wind, the reaction the disc has with the basket is a little finicky.
He's putting straight into a headwind too. That was just lifted. I think that was a good line from Goose.
Yeah, there's a lot of, interesting. Yeah, he just showed you there his follow through was straight into a bush, so he had to.
Yeah, I think you got to get uncomfortable for about 11 seconds, stretch out, and really make that putt work for you. Don't let that obstruction get in your mind.
We saw him yesterday from a knee connect with like 5 straight putts.
Do everything you can to where you can run a clean stroke.
Yeah, might have just thought that he was okay, and it happens, but you hate to get all the way down there, especially on a tricky birdie like hole 5. Not come away with the 2.
Right.
The fortunate double there from Aaron. As he figures out his putt, we give him some grace. You know, there's certain tendencies that the spin putt has in different winds. And in that right to left head, you almost don't have to throw it as hard.
No.
You take a little speed off of it and you get the exact same amount of distance with it. And he'll figure out the nuances as he goes about his business.
100%.
Quick little look in through 5 holes, though. We got Kevin Jones 3 under through 8, making a push. But the action is right here on this lead card, guys. So we're going to continue into hole 6. It has been a perfect little flex backhand. If you can drive it straight down that right fairway straight, and then let it die off at the end, it's the perfect shot. Playing a little harder today, though, because of the right to left.
I like throwing this hole a lot.
What disc do you think is stability or speed is perfect for this shot?
I mean, you want something with some overstability, but not like crazy. You want to be able to get the disc flat, maybe stand it up a bit. Not in this wind.
Oh, I want to so badly.
Just try to push it towards that right side.
Yeah, Jerome's going for that inside straight line
Yep.
with one of James Conrad's discs. That's the trail there.
I like that disc selection for this hole. That's a good speed.
That's that really overstable fill-in. Should pick up now.
This is the line I like. Pressing that right side tree line, but he got all of it, and I think he's fine. I think he's in bounds.
Yeah, the right to left. Just never let him get back to the ground.
Yeah, today a lower line kind of creating a gap for yourself versus going over the gap like Robert just did. This lower line right here.
It can squeeze in between a couple trees there. His disc does not. That was an onyx.
If you penetrate it the whole way and then it just finishes right around that last tree, you're right inside the circle.
He's really going to throw a buzz.
Looking for that inside line.
Okay. Just a big shot for a buzz. Uphill. Not getting any skip either. I think he's got himself a putt. I don't know if that's the park job. Ooh. Been so dangerous from what we like to call the logo. It's been Steph Curry lately. So has this guy, honestly. The amount of big putts we've seen from both of those guys.
Yeah.
There's no question why they're up here.
I'm thinking Robert's got a look at gaining the stroke on both of them right here. He's got a wide open putt. He's saying he's safe. Whoa, he's back there, though.
That is way back then. Putting back into the head.
Tricky. All right.
Not a bad bid.
No.
playing the lift, doesn't get it. Kind of confusing. It was a confusing day, honestly. You throw grass twice and then putt 5 seconds later, and it'd be a completely different wind.
We got a solo leader now.
Yeah, that's right. Ezra dropping back.
Ooh, you got to be careful here, my man.
That was some extra pace there, Robert.
Yeah.
Just making sure he hits his spot.
Here's an unlikely bogey from Ezra.
It'll happen when you run them. Hole 7, crazy left to right. Instead of the right to left we've been playing in, there's just so much airspace for things to go wrong.
This was playing tricky. A lot of people throwing the forehand, just winging them out there and letting the wind do the work. Now the wind is not your friend.
If you expose that flight plate, you never know where that thing's going.
What do we got here?
This
Germ.
Yeah.
Looks a little
Tempo.
slower.
Yeah, this is like
more
a zone.
direct.
Dude, this is like an A5 or a zone. This is just a torque resistant, basically a putter.
He said, I'm going to get the distance right, and I'm going to throw it right at the basket. It's not going to move like a big rim disc is.
Yeah.
Once the wind gets under it.
And for those of you that know the MVP stuff, they just released that new plastic in that tempo, which Germ's loving. He's displaying why he loves it right there. This is an enforcer.
Whoa.
Nearly just destroyed that basket.
That thing dropped out of the air too quick. That might have broken a few chain links.
Seriously. Nice that Raptor from Aaron.
Bounce up there.
Oh, yeah. Not super tidy, but a little cleanup required.
Yeah, he needs to get some confidence in his putt. Maybe that'll help him out.
You know it's a forehand shot. Oh, he dimed it.
Yes,
back.
he did.
Get back.
Sit down.
Okay. Plenty of power. That's like the fullest rip forehand I've ever seen from Ezra.
Really?
In a tournament. I've seen him play some approaches, but you still got to throw this one hard. That putt just a bit hard.
Here you go, Burridge.
There we go.
Catching up to Ezra now.
I know by the looks of it, these guys will have picked up 2 strokes on Ezra in 2 holes.
And with the wind coming up, there is a tricky stretch of golf.
You're right.
Like,
Oh my goodness, man. 10 was kind of the quiet spot with the current wind for the last 2 days, and now it is just the howling spot.
yeah.
Churn. Burridge. Picking up the bird.
Yeah. We've seen some trouble on hole 8 here over the week. Tricky par 4. It's in the wheelhouse distance-wise for all of our players, but it's just got it's got some teeth with the OB on the right side. You can't really park the hole unless you're like really flexing a forehand, a right-handed forehand shot.
That's exactly right. This is probably a play for short of the basket. Yeah, that looks like 70 feet.
This hyzer was dangerous today. With the wind, I feel like it was coming down off the top of that hill, just past those huge pines on the right, and a lot of those discs were skying out. I saw some funky stuff. I really like this low line, but that's turned and in trouble.
Yeah, it looked like he disked down there.
Yeah.
Went with the stable approach disc, and
Maybe it wasn't stable enough.
he hit it hard. The way that Aaron hits disc, they need to be like stable.
Germ's still opting for the high shot.
Yeah, neutron panic here. This was kind of my play. If I got into a spot for a putt, that was okay. But I just wasn't going to get caught straight. I was going to make sure and get myself left.
I saw what you did on this hole, man. You were rewarded with the high chew.
You're right. I said you want to see big putt?
That was nice. And it was about, maybe not that range, maybe germ range.
Yeah. Pretty good. Oh, no. Whoa. He's going to poke through the trees and try and hyzer this thing out. That's...
No. No, I think he's okay there.
Is
It's
he?
more like right where I
Okay.
think it's tight.
I mean, he's only a couple paces from where you went out of bounds, well inside the circle.
How was he tucked on that tree? He went out that early?
Yeah, crazy. Ezra, this would be a monster putt. What is this, like 90?
Right into the OB.
Look at the late lift. Ezra Robison, man, this guy is a wizard. He's loving those sonars. Feels like he's been putting with him for his whole life.
If I wasn't commentating right now, I would be speechless.
It just stays up and heads directly left into the hearts. Full burial.
If you want to win tournaments, I mean, you got to do stuff like that.
So what do these guys do now?
Putting the pressure on Jeremy.
When the guy before you bangs one, you have to be thinking about it. Ooh, didn't get the same lift, really. Maybe a little flatter,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, definitely. There it is.
Yeah, good-looking spinner from the straddle position.
Straddle, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like to see it.
It was up at the chest there.
Yeah.
The release point.
As these guys tap in, I want to tell you guys about one more opportunity. The Eagles Crossing event is happening again this year. It's 32 players only, and $20,000 is going to the winner. 60K in the purse. 5 days of events. Come interact with and watch the best pros in the world play one of the most amazing courses in the world. This place is super special. But as is this orchard right here. So let's get back to the action for hole 9 to finish this front 9. This is one people want to get.
Oh yeah, 291. It's just right there in front of you. The tee pad's just kicked a little bit to the right, so you can't just throw a nice, like, clean shot, like straight shot. You have to like work a disc just a bit, which I like. You know, they don't just give it up.
Malta.
Oh, that's drifting.
Did it finish?
Sometimes when they penetrate that tree line, you get a look, but I feel like if you're tucked up on that, these trees are hanging all over the place. It makes for a really obstructed putt at times.
So I showed Robert this line day 1. This is my preferred. He just sawed it off.
He kind of got the nose up.
You know what? I'll tell you exactly why. He threw it OB left, round 1.
Yeah.
It just early left. It turned over a little bit, hit the trees, and so he was correcting off of that, I'm sure.
The wind was calling for that shot today.
Yep.
That forehand shot, where this shot was so much trickier. See, he had the line for a bit, but like that wind just took hold. Where that forehand, I feel like the wind was working
You've
with
either
the
got-
disc to keep it down.
Yeah, and over there, you've either got a bad putt or a terrible putt.
We're gonna see a good shot right here, guaranteed. $1.
With the neutron panic, $1 stole.
You got 30 seconds, big dog.
You had to throw this a little further than you think. You know the headwind's there, but it's right to left, so as it's finishing back right, it's slowing down so much.
That flag is just mocking him too, right next to him.
This is exactly what I could see happening. Hard to penetrate that wind, especially at the end of the flight.
Plus, once he gets to that tree line, he's done.
Yeah.
And there's OB. That OB's like tight on that left side.
You just want to throw it to the trunk of that tree, though, if you can.
I think he's gonna throw it to the innards of this basket.
He might. Come on. Big germ. Stand still.
I did not know. I was not trying to be spoiling.
Man, it's so fun to see this guy playing well.
Yeah.
He's doing so much for the sport in many other ways. He's going to be out there commentating for the Pro Tour on course next year, so starting to transfer out of his playing, but he's still top of the game. The shots.
He's 39, bro. He's
Yeah.
going to be 40 this year.
Yeah, but look what he's capable of doing. He's far from transferring into Masters.
100%. Ooh, little wristy pop. Must have had a look at it.
Oh, look, both of their discs sitting there. This is not good. This is like horseshoe putt or forehand putt.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Roll
says
back
in the
This is
circle.
what I said right here.
Yeah, you just can't miss, right?
Look at this tree just hanging right in his face.
Oh, yeah. That one got the
Trying to
second.
get this nose up.
Ugh. You hate to be 24 feet away, unable to get a putt in.
Aggravating.
Feels like he's had a few frustrating things happen the last few holes.
Yeah,
He had the
just started
3
struggling
putt.
him.
Yeah, and then he missed a couple putts, and all of a sudden, Big Germ leading this thing with Robert Burridge 1 stroke behind Ezra. And Aaron kind of figuring out this spin putt in the wind.
Yeah.
You know, this is the most wind he's ever tried this new putt in. So it's all kind of new. Kev Jones continuing to go under par, 4 under for him. That's matching Germ's pace, which is hot. And a bunch of other stuff going on. Really hard to get scores today. The birdies were not easy to come by. You had to throw a good shot and a good putt, because 15 feet and out, I mean, it took wizardry at times. And it definitely took a good wind read, if that was even possible. But we got a great back 9 for you guys, coming with a par 5, tons of birdies, but a ton of really challenging holes as well. It should be fun to watch in the wind, see these guys attack. For Tall Paul Oman, I'm Luke Humphries. Appreciate you guys watching this coverage. See you for that back 9.